Alrighty, hi folks. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are getting to the end of the academic year here at Peace. As you can see on the screen, and when you signed up, we are doing a Pacer Family Night tonight with our Office of Residence Life and Housing, just talking through some of those expectations for your student moving out of the residence halls for maybe the first time or just a refresher, and some other details from the Office of Housing as well. If you've not met me yet, my name's Megan. My name and my title are slipping from my mind. I am the Family and International Services Specialist as part of our Office of Student Involvement. So, working on all things family programs. So, trying to make sure we have all the things you'll need as we wrap up the end of this semester. Um, I will kick it over to our area coordinator, Anthony, in just one second, but I did want to give a small plug. I wanted to give a sneak peek at a save the date for Family Weekend in October. I will have more details in the coming weeks and months to share out with families, but that will be October 23rd through the 25th, 2026. So keep an eye out for that, registration on the family portal and all the things. But if you're a planner and like to know ahead of time, feel free to mark that on your calendar as well. Um, and then I'll go ahead and kick it over to Anthony to get started. Again, thanks everyone for being here, and thanks, Anthony, for your time tonight.
Of course, thank you for having me. Um, as Megan mentioned, my name is Anthony Holloman. I am the area coordinator for the upperclassmen students here at Peace within the Office of Residence Life and Housing. I'm here to talk about our closing process and what to expect with that. So we can go to the next slide. This is our current staff. Our area coordinator for our first year areas, which are Davidson and Ross Halls, will be starting over the summer, and we're excited to have her. Mary will kind of work with the RE staff there for the remainder of the semester, as she's been the area coordinator for the first year areas before she was promoted to the associate director. Cody Green is our director. He oversees the day-to-day operations. He represents our campus department with departmental meetings. He oversees those operations. He oversees our student conduct process and supervises us in the office. Mary, she mostly works with our housing assignments and billing for those housing assignments and meal plans. She also helps me with Village Green, anything related to Village Green, facilities, any summer needs, etc., and just the Village Green operations in general. My position, I supervise and manage the on-campus buildings for the upperclassmen students, as well as our Village Green apartments, and supervise those resident assistants as well. And I also serve as one of the facilitators with student accountability process. We can go to the next slide. Exam week expectations. So our 24-hour quiet hours begin on Tuesday, April 28th at 11 p.m. So this is our last day of class. So during that evening, we ask that our students are quiet during this time, that they are respectful to each other as we're trying to study and prepare for exams, as well as preparing for our move-out process as well. So again, during this time, we ask that students use headphones, especially our gamers. We know sometimes they can be a little loud and rambunctious while playing games, but just being respectful for everyone within the area. So it's a communal thing. We don't want to rely on our RAs all the time just for these noise violations. And if there is a time where we need to document those violations, we will do so and then go through our student conduct process. There'll be an expedited process due to the time constraints, but we will have one. And also, too, another big thing is just no overnight guests. So make sure you have a conversation with your students about that, too. Next slide, please. General closing expectations. So all of our buildings, as well as our apartments, will close Wednesday, May 6th at 12 p.m. noon. That is a hard deadline. If you need to stay longer past that, you will need to contact our office as soon as possible. We work with our facilities team to start turn as we do have summer conferences and events that occur over the summer and they need our building. So it's very important to contact us as soon as possible if you need an extension. Typically, we ask residents to leave 24 hours after their last exam, but that May 6th is that hard deadline. So if your student is graduating or participating in graduation in any way, they will be allowed to stay until Sunday, May 10th at 6 p.m. And also, if your student is staying over summer break with us with our summer housing, they are going to remain in their space until they are notified by our office about a move-in time for their summer housing assignment. Next slide, please. Okay, so our checkout procedures. So really simple, but I want to make sure that everyone kind of understood. So we'll kind of go through the process. So the first one, again, need to be checked out by 24 hours after their last final or by that May 6th at 12 p.m. date. So make sure that you're already having these conversations with your student about when they are able to move out. Step number two, students need to begin packing. This is a really important one because we oftentimes forget how much stuff we accumulate over the school year. And so starting to pack, starting to take stuff home now will really help that process run a little smoother. Very important that students don't wait until the last minute to start cleaning because you may miss some of those spots. And so rooms that aren't clean will be subjected to fines. So we want to limit the amount of fines we have to put on students' accounts. So please make sure that you have these conversations with your students as soon as possible. For our common area spaces, so if there are any damages or any cleaning fines or anything like that, we typically split those charges between all occupants in those spaces. So again, your student needs to have a conversation with their suite mates or their cottage mates or apartment mates, depending on where they're living, to talk about what cleaning the spaces look like, especially the common area. Again, we want to not have to put any fees or fines on your students' accounts. So again, encourage them to have those conversations with their roommates, suite mates, apartment mates, etc. Next slide, please. So this is an example of our checkout form that will be on your student's door. This is not for every single residence hall or apartment. This is just a sample one. Each one will have different a little different of the different tasks depending on the area, just because of the different amenities that are available in those areas. But typically, you want to remove all personal property from the room, bathrooms, and common areas, clean everything, be as thorough as possible on that, all countertops, floors, etc. Making sure that you don't leave any items in the space, making sure that you haven't left any items in the dryers or the common area fridges, cupboards, etc. And just making sure that you're disposing of all the trash and just locking and closing all your windows and doors. So your student will sign off on this form after they have checked out, and we will go in after our closing date and start our walkthroughs to see the state of the rooms. Next slide, please. All right, so after your student has completed that form that's on their door, they will need to come to the residence life office to return their key. So we're located on the first floor main hall. We're on the same hallway as the Office of Public Safety. We're just all the way down at the end. So at the Outside of our door, we will have our checkout envelopes. Your student will complete the envelope, put their keys inside, seal the envelope, and either give it to a staff member if it's during our business hours, or they will just slide it underneath the door if it's after our business hours. And again, we will walk through after you have checked out. So next slide, things to kind of remember again, our quiet hours. If your bed is lofted, try to debunk it. We're not too particular about that. So if you're unable to bunk it, it's fine. Making sure that you scheduled the transportation, removing all of the trash, completing the rest of those checklist items stated, and making sure that if you've taken any of the university furniture, that it returns to that space. So we don't want that to charge for any missing items. Next slide, please. So if you're living with us next year, housing assignments will be sent to your student's PEACE email address. So this is our timeline. So the dates may shift a little, but this is what our typical timeline will be for this year. So June 3rd, your student will receive an email with their tentative building and roommate information. So this will be the roommate's name as well as the roommate's email, so you can start having conversations about what to bring, and kind of go ahead and start talking about cleanliness, things like that. July 1st, it will include suite mates if that's applicable, as well as their information too. And then July 31st will include the final building as well as the room number, roommate and suite mate information. There may be another email after that to just provide move-in information, but typically we will try to have that information in that July 31st email as well. So moving day 2026 for returning students will be Saturday, August 15th. So go ahead and put that in your calendars. Typically it will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. But again, just look back, have your students look in their email towards that July 31st or early August email for the exact move-in time for your student. Next slide. So if you have any questions, these are our office hours over the summer. So you can email us, call us. That's our general line and general email, and also follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting some content over the summer. So there was a question in the chat, is move-in day at VG the same as the on-campus? And yes, so returning students, whether you're living at VG or if you're living on campus, will be the same date. Your student will come to campus, pick up their move-in packet, which will include their keys, and then they're able to come to Village Green to move in. We will have staff and RAs at Village Green to help out if there's any issues with your room there during that time. Another question, can we use the carts in the hall for move out if they're available? Yes, we will also have carts available in all of the on-campus areas available. So our facilities team is aware of our move out date, and so they will be providing carts for that too.
Does anyone else have any other questions for Anthony? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I should have clicked that. I was just checking if there's any other slides.
Is move out as organized as move in? Not really. It really just depends on when the student is ready to move out. This is not uh, it's an individual move out, so students will be moving out anytime, especially if they don't have any finals. So after the last day of class, they're able to move out. So move out can start as early as the 28th and move all the way up until that May 6th. So it's more so on an individual basis, more so than a specific time that students need to um, move out. So we can't really plan ahead for move out as we can for moving. Um, are we able to move them out beginning April 25th and 26th? Um, Really, it just depends on your student's schedule. If last day of class is April 28th, so I mean, if students want to miss class, I mean, they can if they don't have like any finals or exams. But I will say, go ahead and start taking stuff home. I would advise that. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, again, just as far as like taking stuff home, I would say yes. We just need to make sure that students return their keys to our office. That's the big thing.
Yeah, and I will put in like a plug, like you definitely get as much out some students I find around this time of year, if they are local enough and visiting home, they will take things on a weekend trip, some of the bigger
Mhm.
items that they might not need. So maybe, if that's a weekend that everyone can kind of do a little bit, that will help. And maybe then your student could pack up the rest on their own and then come home.
Yeah,
I will say too, we'll definitely still have a lot going on for students, so definitely wouldn't encourage them to fully move out until at least after last day of class and or their final exams. Some students, depending on which courses they're taking, that could be depending on if they are a written exam that is at the specific exam time or something that they're able to turn in earlier. That's project based. It's really student to student. So just wanted to put that out there. And the Office of Student Involvement plans Spring LDOC. Spring last day of class, we have a festival. So students really have a great opportunity to participate in that to kind of celebrate their achievement of accomplishing an entire academic year with us. So just wanted to put that out there. I am going to go ahead and stop the recording just for sake of like us being a bit more chit chatty now. So thanks everybody for being here. And Anthony, again, thanks for being here with us today.